I'm using the barriers that were against me in my favor. Whatever is against me, I'm flipping it. I had quite difficulty getting the walk paths down to the street level. I couldn't get a pedestrian path from this side down here. I kept looking at my limitations, not realizing that I had another solution. If streets can go underground and tunnels can go underground, then I could build a path that goes underground too. I can get a path underneath the ground. I'll do a step elevation. That's actually coming up to the street already. Yeah, that's actually fine. It's gonna let me curve here. Boom, boom, bam. Does that look good? This green line should start going here. They don't have to wait for a ton of people crossing the street from this side. Figured out a glitch in the game. Then it routed pedestrian traffic through the tunnel.
Garage Junk Review.
Okay, mic check 1 2. This is Garage Junk Review, and we have another episode here, episode 6. And this is just a really quick follow-up episode. And I had a freeway off-ramp that had tons of traffic. That is not the case right now, largely due to the fact that I came in here and I built a pedestrian bridge and pedestrian walk path. I like to call it a catwalk. And it's elevated, so it goes over the street. People can walk up and walk down across the main street. The benefit is the automobile traffic is not obstructed by crosswalks. Therefore, when the light turns green, all the cars could either drive straight where they need to go if they want to go down Aspen Street, or they can turn right on Cherry Street and then access whatever neighborhood they need to get to. In the previous episode, if you saw it, you would know that I had quite difficulty getting the walk paths down to the street level. The problem was I was getting overlapping items and invalid shapes trying to get the paths down. So this path successfully goes down here and connects to this sidewalk. This path I was able to get down here to this sidewalk, and this path down to the sidewalk. It is being used, but largely only on this side. And the problem is now with the pedestrian traffic, everyone's gonna cross this crosswalk and traffic's gonna get backed up here because everyone needs to cross and then cross to get over. I couldn't get a pedestrian path from this side down here. I kept looking at my limitations for elevated pathways, totally not realizing that I had another solution. And the solution that I thought of was, wait a minute, if streets can go underground and tunnels can go underground, then I could build a path that goes underground too. So even though I'm limited to getting an elevated path across, I can get a path underneath the ground. What I decided was I'm using the barriers that were against me in my favor. Whatever is against me, I'm flipping it and going, you know what? Since I can't get the path to go over the street, how about I go under it instead? Pathways. And then I went to path, and then I was like, okay, let's go. I started out -5 meters. I'll start here, and then I'll come back up. And maybe I'll do a step elevation. Like I'll come up to 2 and build that first. That's actually coming up to the street already. Let's just see what that looks like. Let's see if that's not too steep. Yeah, that's actually fine. That looks pretty good. Okay, so people can walk up here and then, okay, I'm gonna build this path underground. I'm gonna build it underground. We're gonna come up over here and build the path over here. Shoot, why not? I don't know why I was limiting myself so much. I was so focused on building above ground and how I didn't have enough room to get a path down that I didn't realize I can just build even more down because it doesn't want to let me build over. Why not just build under? Okay. Now I'm just wasting way too much time explaining and less time doing, so let's just get down to the nitty gritty. It's already down 5 So now we need to go down 7. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to go from 5 to 10. And then I had snap off because I didn't want it to snap to any geometry. I wanted it to be exactly where I wanted it. But now that I'm established here, I can turn snap back on to establish the original connection and then turn it back off, right? And now that it's 5 going down to 7.5, and yeah, it's gonna let me do it here. It's gonna let me, I'm gonna take what little it gives me for 7.5. It's gonna let me curve here, and then I'm gonna stay connected. Pay attention to the blue line above the tunnel, because what it shows you is the blue line represents exactly where on the surface directly underneath the tunnel is. I don't want to be over here because then the surface of the tunnel would be directly underneath the building. I don't want that. I want the tunnel to be right here. This is right where I want it. Boom, boom, bam. Boom, boom, bam. And then I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna bring it up to 5. Uh-oh. So we're always gonna get problems here. Yeah, you know what though? As long as I stay here, it should not condemn this building. Let's try to redo this. I think I could do a lot better. We'll get the path. How far down is this one? I would venture, let's do the snap to connect that it's at least 5. Let's connect. And then now that it's connected, let's go up to 2.5 meters. Does that look good? Let's see if that looks good. Yeah, people have to walk a little bit more, but you know what? They can get up to the street. That tunnel goes underground. I hope people start using it to cross the street. So that way, if I go to traffic flow, I think if you just actually click a street, and if you toggle traffic, then you get to see where all the pedestrian traffic goes. Right now, that's where the traffic is going. Now that I've built this tunnel, this green line should start going here. People should start taking this tunnel across. So not everybody is going to walk this way. What that does is when people cross the street, they're not crossing the street twice. They're not crossing here and then crossing again. What they'll do is they'll cross and then stay on this side of the street, go through the tunnel, and pop up on this side. That way, these cars that take this off-ramp, all the traffic coming off the freeway and turning right here, and then they want to make another right, they don't have to wait for a ton of people crossing the street from this side. Once the people cross here, they won't be crossing over here. Less people will cross here. More people will come down here, go through the tunnel, come back up over here. That's the plan, and hopefully people start learning to go that way. I wonder even if I just pause it and then unpause it, if they'll figure it out. I wonder if they'll figure it out. Like, hey y'all, guess what guys? We can go this way. Guess what folks? I finally kind of figured out a glitch in the game where all I did was I saved the game, exited it, I reopened it once I went to the street and I toggled on pedestrian traffic, then it routed pedestrian traffic through the tunnels. Some people will go under, use the tunnel, and go this way on this side of the street. And that's the idea, is to prevent as many people being on this side and crossing here, and then all of them having to cross here too. They can cross here, stay on this side of the street, relieve some of that traffic. They can go underneath and stay on this side of the street. And that's perfect. That's what I wanted. Just know that if you save it, close the game, reopen it, then the game will reroute the traffic. That's how it works. All right, that'll do it for now. For those of you that were wondering, yes, I am capable of releasing a shorter video. I said shorter. I didn't say short. I just said shorter. So it's not an hour long, not half an hour long. All right. Okay, so I think the lesson is for this one, it's just like in the game, when in real life we are on a certain path and we are determined to stay on that path, but sometimes life throws us obstacles. Just like in the game, it threw a bunch of obstacles at me. I didn't let those obstacles deter me or stop me from accomplishing my goal. I set out to build a path across that freeway, and when I couldn't build over it, I gave it some thought and found another way. And so just as in real life, sometimes we have to carve out our own path, even if we have to carve it out of a steep hill or an edge of the freeway. We can always make our own path and move on ahead, accomplish what we set out to do, and be victorious. So don't give up, don't let obstacles in life get you down and keep you down. Find a way to build your path and move forward. Alright folks, that's my little pep talk.